The following program has been rated PG-13.
Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His Word. And Israel, once again, it is that time, my favorite time of the week, where I get to address you, the royal family, and Israel. Here we go. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And thank you so much again for bringing it in this week with your brother one more time. And hopefully we can do this many more times if this is within the will of the Most High God. But Israel, again, I just want to say thank you so much for continuing to support this platform. Thank you so much for everything that you do, all the contacts, all the prayers, everything. Israel, I love y'all and thank you so much. Now, I know we haven't done this here in a second, but for all of our first time family members, do me a favor, please put your name in the live chat so that we can all go ahead and love on you and shout you out and say thank you for being here, and we can get some contacts and everything so that you can now be a part of our family. And once again, I want to thank you for just taking the opportunity to view our platform, and you can get this lesson that the Most High God is bringing us tonight. So once again, thank you to all of Israel. Thank you so much. Now, as y'all know, for the past couple of weeks, I have been displaying the talent of our people. But tonight is something a little different. Tonight is very special. And because it involves me personally. And it's not my talent, though. It's not my talent. But just to give you a little backstory here really quick. Have y'all seen those commercials on YouTube called Dr. Squatch? That one? Okay, so I was almost at the brink of buying one of those so-called 2 bars of soap, right? So what happened? The Most High sent one of our queens to me. We conversed. I found out she actually makes soaps. Now, I love when the Most High interjects in my life. I love it. I absolutely love it. And this is very special here to me because this is something that I really wanted, and you'll find out why here in just a second. But this is something that I really wanted, and the Most High stopped, put the brakes on Edomites and said, no, you are going to serve your sister. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So what I want to do right now, I want to introduce you to Laya Roots. And I want to tell y'all something. I have had the pleasure of speaking to this queen here over the past couple of weeks. And it has been an absolute pleasure. Quite frankly, quite phenomenal. And let me tell you why. Because as I've been speaking to this queen, right, she's been telling me all of the different things that she uses in her product. And it is 100% all natural. All natural. And that is one of the things that I've been looking for, because I am quite frankly sick and tired of dealing with these pharmaceutical soaps. And that's what I call it. And you'll see why I call it this here in a second. But remember what the Most High told us. The Most High said that we are to take care of our temples. Hands down, bottom line. That includes inside and out. So as I'm talking to this queen, she's letting me know all the things that she has. So I go on her Instagram page, which indeed, let me go ahead and give this here to you. It is Laya Bot. It is LAYAHBAHT. That is her Instagram handle. Her telephone number, 850-255-0199. And I want you guys to seriously check out her page. For right now, she is in the process of building up the website and everything, which she'll get there. But for right now, we can still order and contribute to this queen here in Israel. So let me tell you about my experience. So 3 weeks ago, I'm speaking to this queen. She tells me everything that's in there. I get it. I used it on Tuesday night. And let me tell you something. I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible. But this was by far the greatest thing that I've ever used on my skin. And I'm not kidding. I'm not saying this to be a commercial. I'm telling you what really happened. Now, the best way that I could describe this to her was I felt like I was very light when I got out the shower. I did not feel heavy. That was the best way that I was able to describe it to her. It was magnificent. It was phenomenal. I loved it. I did not know that using a natural bar of soap like that would be that much of a difference. And I'm telling you right now, just from number one, the absolute moisture that was within there. Seriously, it lasted up until the next shower. I'm not kidding. And that's with me using light lotion. This sister is off the hook. I'm telling you right now. So what I want to do, I want to show you something. We've seen this before, right? Dove, we've seen this. And y'all are probably thinking, why am I on this here so much? Because you're about to find out right now. So this is what is in this pharmaceutical bar of soap. I'm going to read this here to you if I can. Ingredients: sodium lauryl isethionate, stearic acid, lauric acid, sodium taloate, water, sodium isethionate, sodium stearate, cocamidopropylbutane, sodium cocoate, fragrance, perfume, sodium chloride, tetrasodium etedronate, tetrasodium EDTA, and titanium dioxide, bracket C177891, close bracket, period. This is crap. Let me tell you what the sister had in the bar of soap that I used. Honey, oats, sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, so it can be ingested and digested, and it is natural. Black walnut, natural ingredients. Castor oil to help it set up, 100% natural. And I cannot begin to tell you the life-changing difference it is. And there was absolutely no irritation whatsoever. No bumps, no rashes, nothing but complete moisture and satisfaction. So again, I want you guys to please go check her out. Liar Roots is the name. All right. She said, inbox her if anyone is interested in getting these. And I'm telling y'all right now, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do a giveaway right now. For every person's name that's in the live chat, go ahead, make sure that you put your name in that live chat. All right. That's how serious I am about this. And I want everybody to really reconsider the soap that you use, because all that nonsense that I just read, those are all chemicals. Chemicals. And why am I barking on this here so much? Because again, we have to take care of our temple. This is a serious matter, because now we can start to see where a lot of these cancers and stuff are coming from. It's coming from the things that we put not only in our body, but also on our skin that is able to be absorbed. Those chemicals don't belong or in our body or anything like that. All right. So there you go. Once again, Liar Roots, and you can find her on Instagram, or you can call her at the telephone number that I mentioned, 850-255-0199. Now, Israel, now it's lesson time. Tonight, we are going to be reading Jonah, the book of Jonah, chapter 1. And probably for the next couple of weeks, we are going to stay in the book of Jonah. And after tonight, you're going to see why. Now, Jonah is not a book that's usually brought up. But guess what? We are going to dive into it tonight. And you are going to see just how much is impacted in Jonah. Things that I guarantee you the Christian church has never brought to your attention. But we are going to learn about it tonight. All right? So, of course, I want you to open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. And remember, kings and princes, if there's anything on your head, take it off. Queens and princesses, if you don't have anything on your head, please put something on it, all right? Because remember, this is what we must do to honor Christ. All right, now, going right now, starting with Jonah. The book of Jonah, and we're going to read all of chapter 1. So tonight, this will be one of those lessons where we will be going into precepts. We definitely will be doing that. All right, so Jonah chapter 1. So now, many of you have heard the story of Jonah before. Let me go ahead and take my drink before we get into this. Many of you have heard the story of Jonah. And the only thing that we learned about Jonah was what? He was a guy that got swallowed by a big fish. And that's pretty much all that we know of the story of Jonah. We're going to find out some things here, like I said, that the Christian church has never taught. Why is the story of Jonah so significant? Why is this story so important? You're going to find out. You're going to find out. All right, so here we go. Jonah chapter 1. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, now I got to stop. First precept. I want you to go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings, and you're going to find out why. 2 Kings chapter 14 and verse 25. Okay? I want you to see something. Now remember, it mentioned that Jonah was the son of Amittai. Watch this. He restored the coast of Israel. So now you're starting to see the context. Before we even get into it, who this is talking about. And in an entirely different book. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was of Gath-hepher. So, why did I bring this up? Number one, it's showing you the lineage. He is the son of Amittai. Amittai is an Israelite. So I brought this here to show you that it matters what the father of the Israelites are. You are what your father is. Do you see how it always mentions the father? The father, it always mentions the father. Now, where were they? They are in the land of Gath-hepher. Do you see this? This is Israelite land. This is where we are. So why am I bringing this up? Because this is talking about the Israelites and it mentions the God of Israel, not the whole world. You'll see why this is important later. All right, now let's go back. We're going to go back to Jonah chapter 1, verse 1. I'm going to read it again. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. So what is the Most High doing right now? He gave Jonah a job to do. He told Jonah, the son of Amittai, this Israelite, to go to the city of Nineveh, or Nineveh, however you want to pronounce it, and go cry against this city. Go preach against this city because their wickedness has gone all the way up to the Most High. The Most High said, I want you to go out there and go preach, and go teach, and go get your people out of this city because they are wicked there. So what is this showing? This is showing that the Israelites were all over. Now, the city of Nineveh, or Nineveh, again, however you want to pronounce it, this is in Mesopotamia. This is a great city, a big city where it was pretty much a melting pot, just like right here in America, where our people are scattered abroad, but there's also the other nations there as well. All right? So now, verse 3. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. So now let's start putting this here together. The Most High gave him an objective. He gave him a job to do. And Jonah said, I'm not doing that. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm going to run. I'm going to go to where these other nations are. I'm going to get on this ship with these other nations, and I'm going to reject what the Most High told me to do. I'm going to tell the Most High, no. Israel, I don't know about you. That's not a place where you want to be. Just think the balls of this dude to say, I'm going to tell the Most High no. Does that happen today, Israel? Do many of our people tell the Most High no today? Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. And like I always say, the very same thing that happened all the way back then happens today. As King Solomon said, there is nothing new under the sun. All right? Verse 4. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So what did the Most High do? The Most High told Jonah, go to Nineveh and go preach and go save your people. Jonah said no. Then Jonah got on a ship and went down into the bowels of the ship. And the Most High said, oh, nigga, really? You gonna try to run? You gonna try to escape me? Okay. The Most High stirred up his tempest. And we're going to get into that here in a second, because I really want y'all to understand the tempest of the Most High. But he said, I'm going to stir up the sea. I am going to rock these waters so hard that this damn ship is going to break into pieces because you try to run from me. Okay? Now, I'm going to get some precepts of this tempest. I want you to go to Job chapter 27. That's Job, Old Testament, chapter 27 and verse 20. Job chapter 27 and verse 20. I want to make sure that you have a 100% clear understanding of what the tempest of the Most High is. Watch this. Terrors take hold on him as waters. A tempest stealeth him away in the night. Terrors and tempests go together. When the Most High sends these storms, it means he's angry. Whenever you see these violent storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, fire tornadoes, which is all over the earth right now, the Most High is pissed. Okay? Now, I want to get the definition of tempest real fast. Get the definition, because remember, we are always going to break things down completely. Okay? Let's get the definition of tempest. Watch this. Tempest definition: a violently windy storm. That's the definition. So not only does the Bible make the reference of what the tempest is, also this white man's dictionary tells you what it is too. Okay? Now, I want you to go to Psalms chapter 11, verse 6. Psalms chapter 11, verse 6. Because like I said, I'm going to make sure that I beat it into you, that you know what these tempests are. All right. Watch this. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So as you see, who does this tempest go after? It goes after the wicked. So what did Jonah do? He disobeyed the Most High, making him wicked, and the Most High sent his tempest, his storms after him. All right, now I want you to go to Psalms chapter 50 and verse 3. Psalms chapter 50 and verse 3. I am going to make sure that I drill this into your mind because I don't want anybody telling you any different. You can always go back and show, if you're taking notes, which you should be, what these tempests are. All right, verse 3. Our, again, possessive, our, the God of Israel. Our God shall come and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. So do you see that? I want you to see the difference between the two. The tempest and the storms. The Most High can make that storm out of water, or he can make it out of fire. And there's sometimes when the Most High takes the two elements and put them together. Water that surrounds fire, and he drops it and bangs it on people for pinpoint accuracy. You understand that? This is how the Most High works. This is how he shows his wonders. That's the Most High. That's our God, the God of Israel. All right, now I want you to go now to Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and verse 15. All right, watch this. So persecute them with my tempest and make them afraid with my storm. So, as you see, this is the book of Psalms. This is going all the way back, right there to Jonah, to persecute him, to make him afraid. And I'm showing you all these things here because it's going to mean something as we read further through Jonah. All right, so now I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 28. Isaiah chapter 28, go to verse 2. Watch this. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. With the hand. Again, doing this here to show you that that storm could be either of fire or water or both. Do you see just how creative the Most High is when he's trying to get our attention? When we are disobedient. Now, Isaiah 29, go over one chapter. Go down to verse 6. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Watch this. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. I wanted to show you that one right there so that you can see that the Most High will use all the elements. He doesn't care. He does what he wants. He's God. And as God always does, he's going to put on a show. Now, go to the next book, Isaiah 30. Go down to verse 30. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 30. Watch this. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall shew the lightning down with his arms, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. There he goes, mixing the elements again. Now, do you know how water is supposed to put out fire? The Most High took the two elements and put them together. Put them together to make it worse, to make it spread. So when you get wet, what happens? It comes all over your body. All over your body. So can you imagine water that carries not just heat, but fire, which means it's going to lubricate your entire body so that you will burn all over, even under the nutsack. Fellas, yeah. The Most High wants to make sure that when this fire rains down, it's going to cover every last piece. So you can think about this water now is a different element. Now it's almost a chemical to where it's going to seep down into your cracks. Israel, do you understand what I'm saying here? And yet we continue to play with him. All right, so now I want you to go to the book of Jeremiah, go to chapter 30, and go down to verse 23. All right, watch this. Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury. What is a whirlwind? It is a tornado. A continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. So now you understand why I showed all of this here to you. Who those storms are for. Those storms are for the wicked. Now, in prior lessons that we did, we went over those storms before. Remember? Remember. All of those tornadoes take place where? In all the places where slavery was thick, where they did the worst to the slaves. And the Most High be tearing them up on land, destroying all of their stuff. All of it. Their belongings, their houses, their banks, their schools, everything. Now, that is supposed to be for them. But as Israelites, though, we want to follow and run behind them. And the Most High said, okay, you want to be with them? Okay, you're going to get it right along with them. You want to be wicked? I will make sure this is reserved for you too. Stop playing with these other nations, Israel. All right, let's go back to Jonah now. Jonah chapter 1, and we left off at verse 4. I'm going to read it again. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, now that you know what this is, so that the ship was like to be broken. So now you can see that the Most High could have tore that ship to pieces. Verse 5. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God. I'll come back to that. And cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. Now, the mariners, those are sailors of the other nations. I'm going to read this one more time. Then the mariners were afraid and cried every man unto his God. Not the God of Israel. His God. His God. Now, why did the Bible mention this here? Why did the Bible make it necessary to show the separation? I want you to go to Psalms chapter 96 and verse 5. Psalms chapter 96, verse 5. Listen to what the Most High says. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So what is the Most High saying here now? The Most High is saying, first of all, the gods of the other nations, I'm not them. I'm the God of Israel. Just like we read earlier. I am the God of Israel. I am not the God of these other nations. Their nations are idols. I made the heavens. I made the earth. I made the molecule. I made everything in existence. That is my power versus theirs. They have no power. They have nothing. I am the one true God. I'm the big dog. I am the Almighty. I am the one to be revered. I am the one to be feared. I am not the one to be played with, damn it. That's how our God talks to these other nations. Let's go back. Jonah chapter 1, verse 5. Then the mariners were afraid. Why were the mariners afraid? Because they knew this was not their God doing this. And you're going to find out. And cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea. Now, wares is like pottery, is goods. They were taking the goods off the boat and throwing them off the boat so that the boat would not sink and it would not be destroyed, to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So Jonah was like, look, I'm going down. Y'all can do what y'all want. I'm going down in the bowels of the ship. Nigga, I'm going to sleep. Verse 6. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, what meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy God. Your God, thy means your. Call upon your God, if so be that God will think upon us that we perish not. So what's happening here? So now the shipmaster, meaning the captain of the ship, went down into the bowels and saw Jonah, was like, hey, get up. What is the meaning of all this? Nigga, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you on our ship? Okay? Listen, you need to get your ass up and call upon your God and tell him to stop so that we don't die. That's right. Get up and talk to your God. So as you can clearly see, the other nations knew that the God of Israel, our God, is not their God. All right? Okay. They was like, look, we are not dying for you. All right? Now watch, verse 7. And they said, every one to his fellow, meaning their own, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for sure, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. So that's what I was saying there. I was reading, paraphrasing. I don't want to do that. But they was like, listen, we are going to know for sure that you, sir, we know who you are and what you are. You are God of Israel. You are one of them Israelites. Okay? And we know your God is the God of Israel. So we're going to make sure. So they were casting lots. So you know what? Casting lots, they were making bets. That's why they said with the rest of their fellows, their own people. This is why they emphasized thy God, and that the gods of the other nations are idols. So they said, now we're going to take bets that this nigga right here is an Israelite. Watch this. Verse 8. Then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country, and of what people art thou? So think about this. It's this crowd that's all over surrounding Jonah, because they all rolled up on him like, look, man, okay, first of all, how did they know to go to Jonah? Because the Israelites don't look like anybody else. We are the most distinguished people on this planet, bar none. And they knew right there to go directly to Jonah. And now they're asking, wait a second, wait, where you come from? All right, what is your job? What do you do? They're asking him all these questions because remember, they cast lots. They're taking bets on this. All right, verse 9. And he said unto them, I am an Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. So now that's the precept. Psalms 96:5 is the precept to this right here. Precepts of each other. This is why he said, I made the heavens. I am the one true God. I am the Almighty. I am the all-powerful. And that's my God. My God. Do you see how the Israelites, even back then, were so possessive? Because they knew there was a difference between everybody. It was Israel versus the world. It was Israel versus the rest of the world. And nothing has changed. Watch this. Verse 10. Then were the men exceedingly afraid. Let me stop for a second here, Israel, because now you got to know this. This is why all the other nations today want to try to accept God as theirs. No. Nothing has changed. For you Edomites, you Ishmaelites, you Ammonites, you Moabites, you Hamites, the Most High God of Israel, the God that's in heaven, is not your God. He's ours. He is the God of Israel. He is the God of the Israelites, and his son is the king of the Israelites. He's not yours. You cannot call on him. You will praise him, but you cannot call on him. All right? Verse 10 again. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, petrified, pissing their pants, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? They're like, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to us, man? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord because he had told them. So Jonah was like, yo, listen, God tried to send me to the land of Nineveh, whatever you want to call it. He said he tried to send me there, and I'm not trying to go there. He talked to him. He had a conversation with him. All right. Verse 11. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous. They're like, listen, we got to do something with you. All right. You causing this boat to rock. Our stuff, we had to throw our stuff overboard. We lost our merchandise and everything because you decided that you wanted to come on here and run from your God. And now we're going to die because of it. Nah, man, look, stop playing. Yo, what we going to do with you? We got to do something with you. We got to do something. Verse 13. Verse 12, And he said unto them, I want y'all to really pay attention to this. And he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. Israel, do you understand the submission that just happened? Jonah was like, okay. You know, he sunk his head down. It was like, all right, I can't run. You know what? I'm not going to throw myself into the sea. So what y'all going to do, y'all are going to pick me up and throw me into the sea. Now, I want y'all to understand something about this. This had to happen. This was a physical thing where the Most High put it in Jonah to tell these other nations, put your hands on me and cast me out. Why did this happen? Did this happen before? Oh, yes, it did. I'm not going to get into it just yet. We're going to come back to that. But as y'all know what I love doing, I love planting seeds. Oh, because it's going to get great. Trust me, it's going to get great. Watch. Verse 13. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not. For the sea wrought and was tempestuous against them. So what's happening? So Jonah told them, pick me up and throw me into the sea. But these other nations, knowing who and what he is, was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Look, nigga, we ain't touching you. Why? Because they knew he was an Israelite. They knew who he was on this planet and who he belonged to. And they're like, listen, we already see what your God is doing. Nigga, we not messing with you. We ain't putting our hands on you. No. So what we're going to do, being that we know who you are, we are going to try to get you back to land. Do you see how these other nations were towards the Israelites back then? Do you see that? Like, listen, we know who your God is. We're going to do everything that we can to get you back to land, man. Okay? All right? We're not touching you. We're not going to. Verse 14, watch. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, we beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life. Let us not perish. Let us not die for him. We ain't do nothing. Look, we didn't do anything, man, and we don't want to die for this man. And lay not upon us innocent blood, for thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee. So they are petrified. They are so scared out of their minds. Their wits are completely out of control. You have to understand what's going on. Here it is. They were in calm land. What happens? This Israelite gets on the ship for running. They knew that this Israelite should not have been disobeying the Most High. They knew this, just like they know today. These other nations know we are not to be disrespecting or rejecting the word of the Most High. They've always known Israel. They've always known family. But now what do? They make sure we go against him. Why? As long as we are going against the Most High, they remain in power. Because at this point, the Most High went ahead and turned his back on us. He said, because y'all are too rebellious. I can't deal with y'all. Y'all are sickening. I'm turning my back on you. I'm not dealing with y'all. But back during this time, Jonah tried to run from his obligation. He tried to run from the instruction of the Most High. And the Most High went and got him. And there are many of you that the Most High ran to go get and said, I gave you a job to do. You're not running from it. I did not ask you. I'm telling you what you are going to do. And our attitudes today is that we're just going to try to run. Nah, I'm not doing it. You see what that storm is all about. You see what's coming. All right? Let's continue. Verse 15. So, listen to this. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging. We have to break this down now. So, Jonah said, pick me up and throw me overboard. They threw him overboard. What great event just happened? They picked up this Israelite and threw him into the sea. And the storm stopped. Do you see the display of power of the Most High? Why did the Most High do this? He said, because I want every nation on this planet, everybody to see just how powerful I am. Not only that, but I want every nation on this planet, including my Israelites, to know I'm always watching. Always. I see everything that's going on down there. Everything. And I want you to know that my power is real time. Real time. As soon as they threw him overboard, it stopped. I love the Most High. I love the Most High. Showing his power right there on the spot. Not what the Christian church teaches or whatever, that he's never late, but he's always right on time and all that, and how they emphasize that. No. The Most High showed his power right then and there. There was no wait. There was no delay. He did it right then and there. All up in their face. Watch this. Verse 16. Watch this. The men feared the most. Excuse me. I got to read this again. The men feared the Lord exceedingly and offered a sacrifice unto the Lord and made vows. Why is this so important? Why is this so important? Because the Most High, remember, he said, I'm not their God. I'm not the God of these other nations. But what did they do? The Most High displayed his power and they fell down and submitted. Submitted to the Most High. And they said, okay, you know what? We don't follow these customs. We don't do what these Israelites do, but damn it, we're doing it today. First of all, we just experienced this whole ship rocking. We had to get all of our things off of here. And guess what? All we did, we took this Israelite and threw him overboard, and now it's stopped. Can you imagine if something like that was to happen today? Think about this. Think about it. That true display of power of the Most High broke them niggas down. Broke them down to where they forgot all about their idol gods and said, we are going to make offerings to the God of Israel. So now, does the Bible talk about that? Does it talk about that anywhere else? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 23. The book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 23. Remember, I always teach y'all that the Most High loves to give a trailer, a preview, a precursor of what's to come. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 23, Israel, watch this. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear. You see what the Most High said? Every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess that I am the one true God. There's nobody above me. Nobody can touch me. I'm God. You understand that, Israel? You understand that? All the way back then, all the way during the time of Isaiah, all the way till now, and definitely on the day of the Lord. Now, that was Old Testament. Now I want you to go to Philippians. Go to the book of Philippians. Go to chapter 2. Philippians chapter 2. Go down to verse 10. Now, that was the Most High. Watch the next one. That at the name of Jesus, every knee should bow of things in heaven and things in the earth and things under the earth. And that every tongue should confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. So not only are they going to bow to the Most High God and confess that he is the one true God, they are also going to bow down to Christ and confess he is the Son of God. And this is everything on the planet, every creeping thing, everything, not just other nations, everything. Now, I want you to go to Revelation chapter 5 and verse 13. Israel, if y'all are not happy about this, I just don't know what to tell you. If this does not make you excited, then this is not for you. You better check your lineage. Revelation chapter 5, verse 13. Watch this. And every creature which is in heaven, and on the earth, and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. I wanted to bring that part out to you right there to show you that here in Isaiah, then in Philippians, this is the precept to the both of those. Israel, remember, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So that was the Father and the Son. So now, Israel, this is the part right here. This is the part right here. I'm telling you, you better take off your shoes and go run outside. Watch this. I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 49. The book of Isaiah chapter 49, Israel. You already know, you can tell in my voice, you can tell right now in my spirit what's about to go down. Y'all know I get hype about this type of stuff. Watch this. Watch this. I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 49. We're going to start at verse 22. Israel, you better get prepared. You better get ready for this. Watch this. Thus saith the Lord God. Who's saying this? God, the Most High, the Father. He's saying this. You better pay attention. Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles. Who, what Gentiles is he talking about here? The other nations. Watch this. And set up my standard to the people. So now, remember in the story of Jonah, remember what happened? When the Most High went ahead and showed his power, what did the other nations do? They served up sacrifices to the Most High. What did he do? He got their mind right and showed them his power. That's coming right back here, and it's coming soon. If you are so dumbfounded and so blind to what's going on this planet right now, California and the West Coast is still burning. That's right. Still on fire. Now, what would we call that? That would be called a firestorm. A firestorm. A storm that cannot be contained, and it is moving slowly along the coast throughout the states. Just like the Most High God said all throughout the precepts that we read earlier, his tempest is in his storms, Israel. I'm going to read this again, verse 22. Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people. And they, watch this, Israel, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms. Who is it talking about? Us. Talking about those of us in captivity, those of us that were taken on slave ships, the Israelites scattered abroad all over this planet. What's going to happen? The Gentiles are going to start to bring us out. When did this happen? This happened in Jonah. This is why I wanted you guys to plant that seed, because they physically had to pick up Jonah, this Israelite who confessed that he was a Hebrew, and throw him overboard. Like I said, the Most High always shows us a precursor. So now, right here, Isaiah 49, verse 22, they physically are going to put their hands on the Israelites and take them to their God. I'm going to read again. Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will lift up mine hand against the Gentiles, just like the Most High did back then, and set up my standard to the people, just like they did to the Most High back then, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, the physical touch, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And sisters, do you know why? Sisters, do you know why you will be carried on their shoulders, sisters? Because your feet are not to touch the floor. Verse 23. Listen close. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers. presidents, czars, whatever you want to call them, the men, the high-ranking officials that are on this earth are going to become nurses to the Israelites to serve and to pamper. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They, Israel, watch this. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Boom! Israel. Do you understand what I just read here, Israel? The Most High said they're going to bow down to him. And then they're going to bow down to the King, Christ. And then they are going to bow down to you. But which ones of us? The ones that wait on the Most High. The commandment keepers. Because all the other Israelites, the 2/3, you're dead. But for those of us that are keeping these commandments, that's our reward. Remember what we learned last week. They will be going into slavery. All of these precepts and prophecies go hand in hand. Hand and hand. But yet they want to call me a racist. They want to call us racist. We're not racist. We're reading scriptures. And if you don't like it, too damn bad. Too bad. That's what the scriptures say. And if you have a problem with that, that's on you. Take it up with the Most High. All right? Verse 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? And I wanted to read that right there so that you can know exactly who this is talking about. The captives. Us. Us that's still in captivity today. All right. Now, let's go back to Jonah. And we're going to read verse 17. We're going to close it out. Verse 17. Now, the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Now, for those of you that know anything about the Bible, you know what that's a reference to. It is a reference to Christ. As a matter of fact, let's get it. Go to Matthew 12. 12 and I think is verse 40. Yes. Yes, it is. Now, watch this. Watch this. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. So do you see how the Old Testament always goes back to the New Testament, and the New Testament reveals, and the Old Testament reveals the New Testament? As I always tell you, the Old Testament is the New Testament concealed, and the New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. That's what it is. They go hand in hand. They cannot exist without each other. It can't. But as I told you earlier, the Most High always likes to show the trailer, the precursor, the preview of the events to come. He has done this for every generation throughout the Israelites, showing us over and over and over and over. That's what's coming. That promise. Over and over again. The Most High is so repetitive. It's like when we stand in front of him, that's why he said there's going to be no excuse. He's going to be like, I told y'all over and over and over, and you continued to break my commandments. You continue to not listen to me. I told all your forefathers back then, and I'm telling you now, and I'm going to tell your lineage. And this is why we are still in these curses today, because we are so disrespectful and we are so disobedient to the Most High that we won't do what we won't do what he tells us, even though he told us over and over and over again. But there are those of us that are striving to keep these commandments. And this is why the Most High, this is why he said, strive, fight, all the way to the end. All the way to the end. And as you can clearly see here, the end is coming. The end is coming. The end is near. And there ain't a damn thing that anybody can do to stop it. There's no nuclear warhead that can stop this. There is no president. There's no czar. There's nobody on this planet that can stop what the Most High is bringing to this planet. And if you were smart, you would keep his commandments. Israel. Because the commandments for us. But our people are going to continue to be disobedient, and that's why there's such a big number, 2/3 versus 1/3. The 2/3 is going to be destroyed. The 1/3 is going to wait on the Most High. And how do we do that? By keeping his commandments. So, Israel, we're going to go ahead and stop it there. And then we're going to get into the other chapters next week. So this could go 2 or 3 different lessons. Hopefully we can wrap everything else up in 2. But Israel, I really want to make this clear that the end is near and we have to stop playing. It's the end for the rest of the world, but the beginning for us. And if you don't keep these commandments, you're done. I cannot stress that anymore. Our whole purpose on this planet is to keep the commandments of the Most High God. Okay? That's what we're supposed to do. And if we don't do it, we're dead. We're dead. And that is the message that we have to spread to our people. It doesn't matter how they feel. It doesn't matter if they're getting their feelings. If you don't keep these commandments, Israel, you're dead. First of all, you're going to die violently. And then when you open your eyes again, you're going to die worse. I don't want none of that. I don't want that for me, and I for damn sure don't want it for you. Okay? Israel, it's time to get serious. It's time to put away the games. There's no more playing, Israel. There's no more playing. We have to make sure that we do what the Most High tells us to do. And if we don't do what he tells us to do, this is what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. Israel, watch this.
بالظبط هي انا مخليها كام ثانيه عشان برضه من اول بدايه الحدث خالص.
لا ما هي فين الكاميرا اللي فوق وصيف الجرار؟
على الجهاز الثاني خالص.
ده فرد الامن بتاعي؟
لا يا فندم ده راكب عادي. جوكر ركبه على رصيف.
ده النفق بقى اللي هو
ده حضرتك نفق بتاع رصيف 4.
نفق رصيف 4.
والحدث حصل جنبه على رصيف 6.
لا رصيف 25.
مفيش يا فندم 5 هو 6.
الوش بقى الناحيه الثانيه رصيف 11 2. أربعة كده هجيب لك الضرورة ماشي.
So, if you want that to be your outcome, keep playing with the Most High. Because remember, just like Jonah, he's coming to get you. All right, so Israel, I am so glad that we were able to jump in this story here, and I love this story. And as you saw, there's so much impacted in this story. Oh, just wait. Just wait till the other chapters. I cannot wait until next week. I'm more excited about next week than I am actually right now about this week. So remember, Israel, I want you guys to keep these commandments, love each other, reach out to each other, produce your talents for our people, just like Queen Liar right here. Okay? And remember, go check her out on her Instagram, and I'll leave all that information down in the description so that you can see it. All right? And remember, reach out to each other, love each other, give the respect and reverence to the Most High, and tell them that you love them. and tell Christ that you love him too. And tell each other that you love each other, and do the commandments. All right? And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.